Hey everybody, how's it going? This is No Arrows, and today I'm going to be reviewing Invisible Republic from Image Comics, and it's by Gabriel Hardman and Corinna Bechko, a husband and wife duo. And I've never read anything by these two before. I've heard good things about Kinski by Hardman, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. So this was my first exposure to them, and I was pretty impressed, actually. It's a sci-fi comic. It's about this world called Maidstone, and this revolution happened there, and it seems to be it was a failed revolution, and this guy goes to this planet. The revolution happened like 40-something years in the past when this book, when this comic takes place. And this guy in the present, he goes to this planet and to research a story. He's kind of like this. He's like a filmmaker, sort of reporter kind of guy, and he comes to this planet to do a report. Do a story on the revolution, and this guy who started it. This is the guy who started the revolution right there, and he comes across these diaries, or like these journals of this woman who just completely isn't in the history books at all. That's her right there, and it kind of gives a detailed look into this revolution, from a perspective that's never been seen before. And while he looks into it, he sort of finds that there are other people who are interested in it, and things get dangerous, as you can see, who don't they might not necessarily want this information to come out, or they might want the information for the journals for their own ends. And the book switches between that story and a story of the past, where we see, right now in Volume 1, it's like sort of showing what happened before the revolution started, like the interactions between this guy and this woman, the writer of the journal. I'm sure I'm describing this terribly, but it switches back and forth between the present story, which follows this reporter, and the past story, which follows the story of how the revolution happened and the players in the revolution and all that. And so it's got these two separate narratives going on at the same time, and they're both pretty interesting. And the book generates some nice lore. Everything is explained very clearly and interestingly, and there are more details that will surely be fleshed out in future volumes. But it's definitely a comic to get you wrapped up in its world and the characters that populate it. Art's pretty good. So it's kind of sketchy, but I don't know. It's fine. He does some, has some good-looking characters. It's nothing too great, but it's not bad either. And sort of the moodiness of the art definitely lends to the sort of realistic atmosphere of the comic. Like it feels very much like I don't want to say hard sci-fi, but it's definitely like it's a serious comic. It's a serious sci-fi comic. And the art services that well. You got some stuff in the back, these writings. Got some covers here. That's the reporter there. He's got the journal in his duffel bag. There he is, the revolution dude with the woman who wrote the journal. And there's actually a lot more, even though that was a super long explanation, there's actually a lot more to the story than that. But I mean, I'm not going to bore you with the details here. It's just, yeah, like I said, you know, it gives me a world, and it gives me like good characters, and it gives me a good story. You know, it's not just a world comic. It's not just, character interactions. It's not just a thrilling story. It wraps these things all together, and it feels like a very complete and very well realized work, even just in Volume 1. And I have to say, it seems to have tons of potential. Invisible Republic. I think if it sounds like your deal, if you're into politics, revolutions and stuff, you like sci-fi, the split narrative kind of sounds like your deal. Definitely check this out. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'll definitely pick up Volume 2. Hopefully the author said it, Hardman, in an interview, he said that it would hopefully last for 50 issues, I think he said. And hopefully it lasts that long. I'd love to see it, have the chance to do everything it wants to do, because it seems like it's, it feels like they know what they're doing. It feels like they know where they want this comic to go for sure. So, yeah, definitely check it out. I'd give it an 8. Probably a must read. So, yeah, go for it.